Hey guys, welcome to the final collaboration between me and Jack from Jack's Channel of Stuff, where we have been reviewing all of the Rocky films leading up to the premiere of Creed that's coming out in just 2 weeks. I am so excited to see this movie. Guys, if you haven't seen Jack's channel, go over, subscribe. Jack, can you believe that we've already gone through all 5 Rocky films and we are now at the final Rocky movie? It's crazy. And I just got to thank you personally for coming and doing this collaboration with me. This was a pretty long process, but at the same time, I had so much fun doing this with you. If you haven't seen any of our Rocky reviews yet, we have Rocky 1, 3, and 5 over on Jack's Channel of Stuff. And over here, we've got Rocky 2, 4, and finally, Rocky Balboa, which you could basically call Rocky 6. Also, if you guys have not seen these movies yet, just want to give a quick spoiler alert. We're going to be talking about some spoilers in all of these films for our reviews. You have been warned. Okay, Jack, so tell me what you thought about the final chapter in the Rocky series.
What is up, Patrick? Thanks for letting me be back on your channel today to talk about Rocky Balboa, and I can't believe we're already at the end of our Rocky series. I mean, it only felt like yesterday we were just doing Rocky 1, but now we're at the end, so let's go out on a bang, shall we? Can we? Let's find out. I'm just going to get it out of the way right now. Rocky Balboa I thought was okay. I didn't think it was anything particularly special. I just thought it was an average Rocky film, to be honest. A lot better than Rocky 5, I will say that. A better conclusion to the Rocky series than Rocky 5 was. I know Creed's coming out, but that's more of a spin-off than another Rocky film, but whatever. I thought Rocky Balboa was an okay end to the series, which could have been a bit better, but nah. The positives first off, the acting was pretty solid. I mean, Sylvester Stallone was really good in the film. The person who plays his son was really good. I don't know all the actors' names, I'm sorry, but all the acting in the film, really good. Rocky has a couple of monologues in this film which are about life, like the one where he says something like, "It's not about how hard you can get hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep going," and I'm paraphrasing, but I can't remember the exact quote, but something like that. I'm just sat there like, yes, 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 this is church right now. And there's a bit where he's talking to the politicians or something, trying to get his boxing license, those guys, and he's just saying all this life philosophy stuff, and I'm like, yeah, Rocky, you know stuff about life. If there's one thing I do love about some films, it's seeing the main character give some really awesome monologues, and Rocky Balboa did just that in this film. Plus also the final boxing match in this film, at first, I actually really liked how it was done. It was done really professionally. And what I mean by that is it was set up like an actual boxing match, like you're watching it on TV, like you have the logos in the bottom right corner, and you have the camera movements, like the actual cameraman stood on the apron, like filming the whole thing. It looked like a proper boxing match you're watching on TV, so it was really good at first. Then after that, it just succumbed into this really cheesy, generic, you know, like flashbacks and visions and looking at stuff from the other films. I'm just like, oh, there goes that potential. Getting into the more negative side, I do think the first 45 to 50 minutes of this film I thought were pretty boring. I understand that it's meant to be character based, but I didn't think the characters were doing anything that interesting. I mean, Rocky's going around, he has a couple of conversations with his son, he goes see Maria a couple times, he spends the first part of this film like going to see these different landmarks from the first film, like, oh, remember, it's a Rocky film, here's like all the locations from the first couple of films. And that's pretty much it for the first 45 to 50 minutes, and I was just like, okay, where is this film going? The rest of the film is a bit less of that, and you have the couple of monologues here and there, and then there's one training montage, and then there's the boxing match, then boom, done, end of film. I didn't find the film very entertaining or very invest-worthy, and there was no emotional context to the story like there was in Rocky 2. And I'm not saying there has to be like in Rocky 2, I'm just saying there could have been, because it's like the last fight, he's coming out of retirement, and it could have been a lot more emotional and a lot more, you know, feel good than it actually was. I feel like this is a really terrible review for me because I'm not really saying too much about Rocky Balboa because there's not really much I can say. I mean, the acting was good, the boxing match at first was pretty entertaining, like how they set it up like a proper boxing match. And Rocky does have quite a few cool monologues in this film, but the rest of it I just thought was uninteresting, not really that entertaining, and to be honest, quite boring at parts. It was not terrible, it wasn't even bad, it's a lot better than Rocky 5, I'll say that. A better conclusion to the Rocky series than Rocky 5 ever was. I'm going to give Rocky Balboa a 3 out of 5. So there you have it, Rocky Balboa is over and done with. That's mine and Patrick's Rocky series completely done with. Now if you're watching this over from my channel, I'm just saying that Creed does not come out in the UK till January. Yeah, no. I don't know why, but it just doesn't come out till January, so I'm probably not even going to get to see it this year. So I'm sorry, there's probably going to be no Creed review, but stick around on Patrick's channel because he's going to have a Creed review for you guys next week, so I'll rely on his stuff. But once again, Patrick, thanks very much for letting me be on your channel for these videos, and thanks for being on my channel, and thanks for letting me do this collaboration series with you on the Rocky films. I hope we can do some more collaborations in the future, but for now, back to you.
So looking back at all the previous Rocky films, you would probably be safe in assuming that a lot of these have progressively gotten worse and worse. Rocky Balboa, or Rocky 6 if you want to call it that, was released 16 years after Rocky 5. Rocky is long retired. He's in his 60s and he just kind of has been washed up at this point. He's coping with the loss of his wife Adrian, who died of breast cancer, and his son is very distant with him. He doesn't want to be in Rocky's shadow. He's trying to make a man of himself. Paulie is trying to just get him out of the rut that he's in, just hanging and clinging on to the past. After seeing a computer-generated fight between him and the new champ, Mason the Line Dixon, I know, kind of crappy name, he decides to pick up boxing again, but in very low-key areas. However, with all of the news coming out that in this computer-simulated fight, Rocky beat Mason the Lion Dixon, all of Mason's managers are coming to Rocky wanting him to do an exhibition with the Lion Dixon. With that, we kind of go back into the Rocky territory where he starts to do his training montage. He goes into the fights, you have your freeze frame. But, you know, this was a movie that I was very impressed with. I enjoyed seeing this new side of Rocky. Sylvester Stallone is still giving a great performance as the Italian Stallion. Story and dialogue are actually pretty good in this installment. I actually was pretty involved with the story, and there are a few monologues that Rocky gives that are so incredibly inspirational that you just kind of have to jump up and go, hell yeah! And it made me want to do a push-up. I didn't do the push-up, but it made me want to. It has a lot of very beautiful cinematography. It still holds up as being a very good installment. However, the film does ultimately start to dip back into the problems that all of these Rocky sequels have had, where the story doesn't go anywhere and it starts to be repetitive of previous sequels and even the original, where you have this fight at the end, you have your training montage, and you can pretty much assume how it's going to end. And unfortunately, this movie does have some pacing issues. A lot of the time, for the first and second act of the movie, it's very slow, and almost to a time, it's a little bit boring. However, once the third act kicks in, you get back into the excitement of a Rocky movie, it brings back all of the classic things, and you start to enjoy it a lot more. Overall, this is a pretty good end to the Rocky franchise. It's far better than Rocky 3, 4, or even 5. I would say this is in the top 3 of the best Rocky films of this franchise. I'm going to give Rocky a 7 out of 10. Jack, thank you so much for coming and doing this collaboration with me. I always enjoy having you come and give your reviews. Guys, please go and subscribe to Jack's channel. He's got great reviews, and he's putting out stuff every week, so go check him out. Next up, guys, is Creed. I'm so happy to be able to talk to you about this. Stay tuned. You'll be getting an updated when that Creed review is coming. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, as always, and I will see you at the next review.